She's holding a coral snake. Now coral snakes, actually, yeah, red and yellow kill a fellow, red next to black, save Jack. See here, the red is next to the black, save Jack, okay? Now this is a snake that we actually got from Charlie Hessel when we were visiting in St. Louis at the zoo, and he said, hey, would you guys like to take a snake egg back with you? And we go, oh, okay, on the plane. You've heard of snakes on a plane? Well, Sam had his duffel bag, and so Charlie, I mean, you don't really have to worry about putting these in like a heated environment. It's just kind of like outside. So we thought it'll make it home. So we had a little like a little shoe, you know, Kleenex box or something kind of padded, and he put it in his little duffel bag, and we just took it on. Of course, we didn't declare anything. We just kind of said, they don't need to know what we have in our duffel bag. Who cares? But you know, as we're driving, as we're flying, I'm going, oh, wait a minute. You know what happens to a potato chip bag when you're up 30,000 feet? It kind of goes, you know how your ears go, and I go, oh. And so we kind of, I said, let's look at that egg. So we pulled it out, and I go, instead of being kind of elongated, you know, it was kind of puffy. And I go, oh, please don't explode and pop on the plane. But when we got him home, we checked, and it was already starting to go back down. It was a little dark, and so we incubated it, which means you just put it in perlite out in normal temperatures. And he hatched, and we've had him ever since. And we named him, we call him King Charlie because it's a king snake. We named him after Charlie Hessel. But now king snakes are constrictors, and they will eat other snakes. So in other words, I can't put him in an aquarium with another snake, or I might just end up with one snake. So they will eat any cage mates. When this little guy was real little, I was trying to get him on thawed pinky mice. In other words, get him on stuff I wanted to feed him. No, he only wanted to eat anoles. And I'm going, I'm not going to feed you any of my anoles. You're going to starve first. So what I did was I'd go out and I'd be riding my bike and I'd go, oh, there's a dead one. So I'd be stopping on my bike to get, you know, anoles to take back to feed King Charlie. And then I thought, he still has to learn how to eat rodents. I put an anole in, he'd go eat that, and I put the little pinky in, he wouldn't eat it. So I thought, oh, there's more than one way to trick you. So I got some thread, and I put a thawed anole there, and I put the pinky on top, and I wrapped a little piece of thread around so it was like a little burrito. And he ate it. And I thought, one for me. But these guys are very docile. This is actually a hybrid type of king snake. It's a Mexican king snake, scarlet king snake. They can get to be a couple, 2 or 3 feet long. Very docile, very nice to handle, very pretty, but like I said, it's not a coral snake. We do have coral snakes here in Florida, but they are very secretive. They're more burrowers, and they're not really aggressive either. I mean, you could probably handle one, although I wouldn't recommend it, but they're not super aggressive, but they are in the cobra family.
How old is this one?
This one, we got it a few years ago now, so I mean, he's growing pretty good, you know, so as long as I can get him to eat more rodents, he'd grow faster. Now, since it's winter, they do kind of slow down a little bit eating, even though he's in a heated house. They kind of know that it's time to cool it a little bit. And so that there's nothing wrong with that either. So if anybody wants to touch them later, I'll bring it back out, okay?
What's the lifespan of one like that?
You know,
in captivity?
That's a sad thing. In the wild, snakes do not live very long because, like I tell people, I said, I heard a quote once, and it really bothers me. And it said, most snakes do not survive even one encounter with a human. And I asked the kids, I said, what does that tell you? And they said, you mean that they kill it? And I said, yeah. It's like kind of like these things here, you know. Yeah. And any of you, like especially the ones in the back of the room who are usually show a little bit more fear, I mean, which is normal, you're not born with a fear of snakes. You're kind of, you pick that up from a relative who shrieks and jumps on a chair when you see a mouse or a snake. I mean, it's very easy to have role models convey kind of wrong messages like fears. And the sad thing about a fear of snakes or a fear of anything like this is it's like a mental handicap in a way. The more you learn about an animal that makes you afraid, the less you fear it after a while. I mean, I heard of a family once that went to a national park, And as they pulled up to the park entrance, it was a beautiful day, beautiful park, lakes, everything around. And they asked the park ranger, and he's just handing them their pass and their map of the place. They said, the family said, "Are there any snakes in here?" And I'm sure the guy probably thought, yeah, but you know, chances are you probably won't see any. And when he said, "Yeah, we have a few species," he goes, "Okay, fine," and he turned around and left. I mean, it's kind of sad to have that handicap your enjoyment of nature, you know. So that's just one of those things that, you know, I kind of like to, you know, if you don't like snakes, at least realize that they, you know, they are kind of important.